Hello there folks, I hope you're doing good. The beginning of this video is a little bit odd. The main part of this video were filmed a couple of days ago at my favorite bench right above Lake Stickön. I've been filming from there before. And it was a really nice and warm day. It was what many consider the final day of summer for this year. I don't know when that will be, but we're marching into autumn, so it might be so. But the problem is that when I took a look at the video right now in order to edit it, the beginning of it is missing. All of the records that I meant to show is there, but in the beginning of it, the intro of it is missing. So since every record I meant to show is there, I thought it was no idea to redo the entire video. So I made the intro here, and then we jump over to my original video a couple of days ago. I'm just going to talk about the special premises here. 1 week ago, Saturday 1 week ago, I went to a different kind of flea markets and our record shop here, the Nilstallet, for some record digging, and I managed to find a whole bunch of really nice stuff. So a kind of striking gold that Saturday. I found a whole lot of 45s for 50 cents each at the Nilstallet, so there will be a whole lot of 45s. I found 3 fantastic 10-inch jazz records at formerly known as Erikshjälpen, now known as Mitt Secondhand, and also 2 CDs that I wanted to have on my former workplace, HK. So I suggest we right now move over to Lake Stickön, to myself, and where I will show my first records that I found last Saturday. This is Bruce Springsteen, and the 2 albums he released in 1992, called Lucky Town and Human Touch. I have Human Touch on cassette, but I felt I wanted them both on in the same format, and this was definitely a really nice finding in order to do that. And Lucky Town I wanted to have for quite some time, so I'm really happy to find both of them. Now coming to a huge deal of 45s that I found at the Nilstallet, our record store here, and I went there this last Saturday and checked in a little box with 45s that costed 50 cents, and the owner said that he had more in the back that was going to cost 50 cents. So I was allowed to go there in the back of the store and dig for some 45s for 50 cents, and I came up with a whole bunch, so it was a really nice experience. So let's start with the Swedish one. This is one of the few country singers that I like, Swedish Alf Robertsson, and a single called Tycker du om mig så skriv. Do you like me so? Write. On the other side, it actually is the first single he released ever, Riv inte vårt kvarter, Don't Tear Down Our Neighborhood. So this is an extremely early one. 2 singles that I never thought I would going to see. This is a Danish comedian and classical pianist Victor Borge, who also had a great career outside of Europe. He's famous for his satirical and humorous versions of classical masterpieces, and he's a really funny guy. Released a lot of albums, but I've never seen a 45 by him. This is Satirics, where he plays Franz Liszt Liebestraum and makes some funny about Mozart opera. And seems to be really early also, so very happy for that. And I also found this, Victor Borge, Caught in the Act, and really nice. All recorded live, of course. This I found in the belief that it would be for my collection of stuff that are so hilariously bad that it actually is funny. You know, I collect these cult classics. I never heard of this. This is an Austrian band called EAV, and the song is called Bank Robbery. It is EAV is a comedian band that also has some little political stuff involved every now and then, and never became that big outside of the German-speaking countries, but managed to find this. This is a song about a bank robbery, a man who turns into a bank robber because he wants to be able to find some food for him and his dog called Woofsy. And he turned out to be a horrible bank robber, and it ends with him just creating a bank account instead. But I thought this was going to be so bad that it was hilarious, but actually extremely catchy and great song. So it will be staying in the collection, but I'm not sure that I will put it in the box with songs that are really horrible bad. It actually might wind up in the regular collection of 45. Survivor and Burning Heart from Rocky 4. One of the few Survivor songs that I actually really like. And don't ask me about Eye of the Tiger, I'm so fed up with that song. I prefer this one much better. We have Stan Ridgway and Camouflage, which was a bigger hit in Europe, I think, than than USA, but it was a pretty good hit here. Really catchy and nice song. Some soul also, of course. Jodie Watley from Shalamar. Still a Thrill from 1987. She's famous for, among others, Looking for a New Love, which also is the B-side of the single, as an a cappella version. Sounds very original. We have Aretha Franklin, Ain't Nobody Ever Loved You, and this is from 1985 and the Who's Done Who album, and it's produced by Narda Michael Walden. More soul, Anita Baker, Giving You the Best That I Got. Some really smooth jazz soul, and just done some really great and relaxing albums. Earth, Wind and Fire, System of Survival. I usually say that Earth, Wind and Fire's career during the 80s and later on was winding downhill, not that interesting, even though I'm trying to buy them also to have a somewhat complete collection, for now anyway. But this is actually a pretty good song, a very good single. Not comparing, of course, to their classic hits on I Am and All in All, but still a really great funky 80s track. This is from 1987. We're coming to some more Swedish, and this is actually for the part where for stuff that I think is so bad it's actually funny. This is Swedish singer Anita Lindblom. I've shown her before. This is from a movie called 3 dagar på luffen, 3 days on the road. This is an EP with 4 songs, and one of them is called Beatles Bossa Nova. It is a Swedish version of the Antonio Carlos Jobim classic Girl from Ipanema, and the lyrics are really, really bad actually. She sings about how she adores the Beatles. She wants a Beatle for Christmas, and she explains how she really loves Paul and John and George, and most of all cute Ringo. It's really, really bad. They are actually a special 45 for this song. Not only this on this EP, but I'm happy for what I get, and this is nice to have it. It's been on my wish list for a while. Bananarama and Love, Truth and Honesty, and it is from their Stock Aitken Waterman period in 1988. So British disco at its best. And speaking of disco, but on the 70s soul disco, on the 70s in the 70s era, this is also one that doesn't say which is A and which is B actually. But this is Atlantic Star from 1978. This is Gimme Your Lovin', and we have Let's Rock and Roll at the B-side. Though I don't think actually they pick out any kind of rock guitars. But Atlantic Star done some really, really great albums. Radiate from 1980, among others. Fantastic, highly recommended albums. This is going to be very interesting. And 3 Degrees, Jump the Gun, and this is the A side, yes. Falling in Love Again on the B side. And this is from 1979, so it is from their George Moroder produced album 3D that I have. It's an okay, good album. Their older stuff from the Philly Records era it's of course even better, but for a George Moroder album, it is actually pretty good. So really nice to have. So then we're leaving the 45s and marches on to some full-length vinyl. First, the other one of my few country favorites that I have, at least as long as you do more singer-songwriter style than country actually. Anne Murray and Where Do You Go When You Dream, an album from 1981. Costed me 10 cents. Why not? And coming to some I really was happy to find. We're talking about early jazz, really early jazz, released on 10-inch. And I paid $1 for these. We have Bix Beiderbecke and the Wolverines, recordings from 1924, released on London in these 10-inch records. So really happy for this. And I also have Johnny Dodds, shown him before. Johnny Dodds, who was a part of Louis Armstrong's Hot 5, among others. This is Washboard Band and Trio. And they may look almost like they were they look almost like they are 78 actually. but they are on 33 RPM, so they are vinyls. And this one, I'm no huge fan, really fan of Dixieland, but I'm trying to discover jazz in this early form in the 20s, and here even further back. So no matter what I feel about Dixieland music, I can't pass up on original Dixieland jazz band, which are labeled as the first jazz orchestra ever. You can also see here historic recordings of the first records recorded jazz music, and we're talking about music from 1917 and 1918, and this is the oldest jazz recordings I have, and this is of course a 50s release. All of these 10-inch are 50s releases, but they are the oldest recordings that I have on record, and I can't see how it will be broken, this record. I have a hard time seeing that I will find even older records than this. But it's really nice to have these historic recordings. So amazing 3 10-inch with really early jazz in 50s 10-inch records. So that is what I found last Saturday, and it was really nice. Bargoons. But I also have other stuff that I will soon show also, but I don't know when that will be, but one thing at a time. I took this first, so the vinyl CD update video won't be all too long if I take in everything that I have to show. So until next time, I hope that every one of you have a really nice time these final days of summer. At least it feels like summer, when it feels like summer. So take care, folks. Bye bye.